massive toll charge is sent to a man who has been dead for years. How did it happen?
Really unbelievable. What's being done to make sure this will not happen to you or your family? News 6 investigator Adriana Ivashinsky joins us now with one family's warning to check those toll bills.
Well, for months, I've been telling drivers to check those toll charges because of the SunPass meltdown. But in this case, we're talking E-Pass, and these are all of the E-Pass tollways. A Central Florida woman says she was charged for her dead father for tolls he never took.
This is my mother and father, and they were married 68 years.
Pictures like this remind Amy Neiman of all of the happy times she shared when her parents were alive. Both have been gone for 4 years now.
This is his death certificate.
So imagine Amy's surprise when she got this invoice from E-Pass addressed to her dead father at her Satellite Beach home.
So if I hadn't opened this and looked at it, there could have been penalties accruing.
What shocked her wasn't the amount of the bill. It was why her dad was being charged for recent toll runs.
When he passed away, his car was sold and the license plate was destroyed.
So we took her questions to Brian Hutchings.
There was a mistake, certainly, yep.
He's with the Central Florida Expressway Authority, which runs E-Pass, and discovered a typo was to blame.
The license plate was keyed in incorrectly, so they inadvertently received the bill.
He says their old cameras only capture images in black and white, but sometimes there's a glare or a picture is dark or blurry. Not only that, their workers are required to process 500 images an hour. That's one every 8 seconds.
Humans can make mistakes.
I didn't know that there was human beings looking at license plates. That seems ancient.
But CFX is in the middle of upgrading its aging toll system. New color HD cameras are already in place at the 417 Boggy Creek Main Plaza and several other spots. And those cameras will now capture both the front and back of cars as they pass through. But even with this, Hutchings still encourages drivers to double check their bills.
If it's wrong, let us know. We'll fix it.
Amy says that's exactly what she's going to do from now on.
I just wanted the public to know that they should question these things.
Now, CFX says they did take Amy's father's information out of their system to ensure something like this does not happen again. Now, CFX says their error rate is less than 2%, but we did the math and discovered 1 out of every 50 pay-by-plate tolls could be wrong. And that adds up to around 48,000 tolls a year. So that's why it's so important to check.
You mean to tell me there's a human being typing in the license plate numbers?
You take the picture, and sometimes it self-populates, but sometimes they can't tell. So that's why you have that clerk that is looking at it and actually inputting the data, and sometimes there's a typo.
Wow.
I would imagine there are plenty of typos in that case.
Well, 98% accuracy rate means there's still room for error.
Yeah. A toll road mystery involving a man and a tag he has not owned for more than 25 years. He says he got a bill from SunPass for a toll violation from last summer, but he was not even in the state.
So the man tells News 6 he called SunPass and the police, but nothing happened. So that's when he contacted News 6 investigator Adriana Ivashinsky to get results. Adriana?
Yes, well, this is the license number in question, Florida tag 30290R. Now, the Florida Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles confirms this number was registered to him but expired in 1995, and he has no idea whatever happened to that license plate.
I might have more tags in here, I'm not sure.
Thomas McMullen's garage is full of classic car memorabilia.
It's super heavy, it's made out of steel.
Including old plates he's owned through the years living here in Port Orange.
Some of these are just vanity tags.
But somehow one of his old tags appears to have ended up on an 18-wheeler captured on camera running a toll twice last August in South Florida.
I don't know how it ended up down there.
So you've never owned an 18-wheeler?
No.
McMullen says back in August, he was on vacation in New York.
So I wasn't even in the state of Florida.
So these are the bills you received?
Yep.
But what makes McMullen mad isn't just that he's received a toll violation that's not his, it's that he's being billed for a tag he hasn't owned in 25 years.
I may have thrown it in the garbage. I may have sold it. I don't know.
McMullen admits he's bought and sold dozens of classic cars during his lifetime
This is a 71 Chevy,
and doesn't keep track of all of them
350 Corvette motor.
or the tags that went with them. He only collects the special ones, like this Purple Heart one on his wall.
This is a DAV tag of mine from disabled veteran.
McMullen says he just wants SunPass to stop sending him these bills and to find out what really happened.
It's given me a lot of aggravation, you know, and I don't need any aggravation.
So we got on the phone and started checking with the Florida Department of Transportation and the Florida Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles, who confirmed the tag expired in 1995 and was never renewed. And an hour after our visit, McMullen did receive a call from FDOT stating even though the tag number that was recorded was registered to him, a closer look at the captured image shows the tag appears to have been altered. We blew up the image and concur. The fifth digit is not a 0 after all. And as a result, the charge for $47.25 has been officially erased.
I think it's great that you're out helping us people.
Now McMullen can get back to fixing up old cars. He just wants his experience to serve as a lesson to others.
And here is the big lesson. Your license plate number belongs to you, not your vehicle. So either take off your old plate and keep it in a safe place or destroy it. And if it is lost or stolen, report it. That goes for a lost or stolen car, too. Again, check those SunPass toll charges. I've been telling you this for months. And make sure that all of those charges are really yours and not someone else's.
When I've traded in cars, I did not take the plate off.
You don't even think about the
I know,
plate,
so
really.
many people don't, and they'll either toss it or sell it or keep it. We've kept, tags before, but it will always trace back to you if you don't do something about
And
it.
it's amazing, though, that some people may be altering their
Change it a
license
And
little
they're
bit.
stolen tags. You hear about that all the time. So this was a valuable lesson to all of us.
Yeah.
Go
Absolutely.
ahead and take those precautions so that way it won't stay active.
Only on 6. For the first time, we're hearing directly from the head of Florida's Department of Transportation. He's answering our questions about your frustrations.
This includes concerns over SunPass, SunRail, and the I-4 Ultimate project. He spoke exclusively with News 6 investigator Adriana Iwashinsky. She's been pressing for answers and an interview for more than 6 months now. And Adriana, when it came to SunPass, he said he inherited quite a mess.
Yes, he did. And it is important to note that Secretary Kevin Tebow was not in charge when the state contractor was picked to run that SunPass project and when it epically failed during last summer's computer system upgrade. But Secretary Tebow says now that he is in charge, he is holding the contractor, Conduent, accountable.
I could see there are issues, but I'm not here right now looking at trying to make blame. I'm trying to move forward and getting a product that's working to where it needs to be working.
Florida's Secretary of Transportation Kevin Tebow is no stranger to the agency he now leads. In fact, he spent 16 years working for it and says he's heard from both drivers and lawmakers about their concerns about the current SunPass contract with Conduent.
Every month there is a performance that they have to meet is now in the operating period. And so if they're not meeting those performance expectations, there are appropriate penalties that will be assessed to them.
But when we checked the state's contract tracking system today, we discovered Conduent just got paid more than $1.2 million on Wednesday. So even though they currently face $8.3 million in fines, they're still getting paid on the contract, despite all the failures.
For us to be able to meet these transportation needs, we can't do it alone. We have to do it in a partnership.
That's because the state's contract has protections for the contractor, too, and says the agency can only assess a 25% penalty for Conduent failing to meet their standards. Another challenge the agency is facing, delays along the I-4 Ultimate project. Secretary Tebow says his agency is doing everything it can to help the contractor stay as close to the original deadline as possible and holding the contractor financially responsible for any over-budget items it incurs.
A little bit longer than what we anticipated, but again, what we're trying to get them to focus on is opening up the regular travel lanes that people have expected, the 3 lanes that they have, most cases, in that direction. As you notice, there's some sections, like towards Kirkman Road, you can see it's pretty much in their final configuration.
Secretary Tebow says his hope is that by the end of 2021, all I-4 general lanes will be open. As for the recent flooding that happened along Princeton Avenue in Orlando, the secretary says it's handled, with contractors being ordered to clear out built-up silt and sand, clogging the permanent and temporary drains around the area. We also asked the secretary about Sunrail and the recent increase in deadly crashes along the tracks. He says his agency is focusing on adding safety measures like signs and commercials, and also looking to other rail agencies nationwide to see what they use to get drivers and pedestrians to stay clear of the tracks.
Making sure they understand that when we say stop here at the signal, it means stop here, not where the tracks are.
And I will have much more on my one-on-one coming up tonight at 7 o'clock, including the Secretary's own experience with SunPass and why Conduent is still not hitting all of its performance measures even more than a year later. Adriana Ivashinsky, Getting Results, News 6.